You know, if there was ever anything that I love in life, it's watching these regime apparatchiks akin to those corporate media stooges, as well as these political mouthpieces, get absolutely blown out of the water and shot into orbit, effectively being atomized as they leave the atmosphere. Chef's kiss. Absolutely adore it. And that's exactly what we saw with Dave Smith debating Chris Cuomo. And oh my goodness, what a fantastic job Patrick Bet David did by setting this up. Watching someone akin to that of the regime hack that is Chris Cuomo fall from his ego to his IQ as he is removed from the bubble that he exists within, having to grapple with everything outside the spectrum of allowable opinion that he has walked within for the ages that he has existed within the corporate press, it truly reveals how unimpressive these people are. And as they fall from their ego to their IQ, well, you begin to realize that it is in fact quite a vast drop. And once they impact, it is damn near a death blow. And that is exactly what we saw delivered to Chris Cuomo in this debate that he took up with Dave Smith, lying through his teeth endlessly, whether it be about the factors of the narrative surrounding COVID, what we see with Trump's prosecution, the factors of the war in Ukraine, or Joe Rogan and what we saw with CNN lying about how he was consistently ill and then claiming that he took horse medication, then stating that Joe Rogan was an anti-vaxxer. Of course, none of these things true, lies once again being perpetrated by the regime media. Now let's go ahead, take it away, and give it to Dave Smith so he can decimate Chris Cuomo for us, and I can enjoy this fucking popsicle.
The vaccine, let's talk about it. What is your beef about the vaccine? Do you believe it didn't work?
No. It certainly didn't work at all in the way it was sold.
When we spoke and I asked you about the vaccine to qualify this and clarify it, I said, if 2026, the second COVID comes in, and they mandate taking vaccines, would you take it? You said no.
I thought we're talking about, like, if they need me to take another one for this virus.
No. I specifically asked if another COVID comes out and they force us to take vaccines, knowing what you now know now, would you take it again? You said no. Just to qualify, that's what
I thought we were talking about if it's this virus again. Well, why would I lie?
Okay,
why would I lie about it?
Let me just show something.
There you see Chris Cuomo lying through his teeth once again, and he was caught doing so within the first 20 minutes of the debate. And this wasn't even about a topic that they were debating or his history when talking about things akin to the coronavirus. This was just about a conversation that he had had with Patrick Bet David behind the scenes. And as you see, sitting there claiming, well, why would I lie? Well, it's so obvious, because you're a duplicitous scumbag and a liar for power that wants to make sure you can keep one toe within the water to make sure that you're checking the temperature of the spectrum of allowable opinion. In doing so, you're making sure that if there's ever a chance, you can still curry favor with the regime and get back into the good graces of the establishment. It's very clear what you are doing. Does anyone else remember when Chris Cuomo got caught emerging from his basement for the quote-unquote first time after he got sick with COVID? But the thing is, he had already been caught by someone when he was out in public, who then videotaped him claiming, you're supposed to be in quarantine like you're telling everyone else to do. You're saying that you're doing the nightly news from your basement, but here you are out in public with your son. But then he comes out and puts out this ridiculous video stating, look at me, here I am emerging from the basement for the first time. You know what? Let's go ahead and play that clip, and then we'll play the clip of him getting called out by Dave Smith during debate on exactly that.
All right, here it is. The official re-entry from the basement, cleared by CDC, a little sweaty, just worked out, happens. This is what I've been dreaming of, literally for weeks.
So let me ask you.
I couldn't have that much power. I got fired.
Fair enough. Okay, so let me ask you about what you do own, and in the spirit of we're being honest here, and our currency is the truth. Your reemergence from your basement, real or fake?
Yes. You want the answer? I'll give it to you. All right.
Chris Cuomo then goes on to give a non-answer for the following couple of minutes, and this is something that he's very clearly picked up on within the corporate press and gotten quite good at, and it's something that I would say dishonest actors do during debate, and someone who comes to mind that does something similar to this is Destiny. What we see is people akin to this volleying a litany of different things at the wall in a singular moment in an attempt to hopefully make sure that something sticks, and if they have that one thing that sticks, what they'll then do is use this as a chipping point to make sure that they can try and capsize your argument. And not specifically by taking on your argument. No. What they do is make sure that they can deviate you from your logical pathing that you had to structure your argument so you could convey the point that you wanted to make. In doing so, to the viewer, for many people, it ends up looking like you did not have the capacity to rationalize your argument, and thus it comes away looking like a win for someone like Chris Cuomo. But Chris Cuomo, being so truly unimpressive, he doesn't have the ability to do this, thus it just shows the fact that he is a liar. Alrighty, now jumping into the fact of what we saw with the tar and feathering of Joe Rogan under CNN's banner, because they were consistently attacking him, claiming that he was nothing more than an anti-vaxxer, someone spreading lies and conspiracies. Even though Joe Rogan, of course, having on the creator of mRNA technology himself, and that of Dr. Robert Malone, having doctors on like Dr. Peter McCullough, even CNN's chief medical correspondent and Dr. Sanjay Gupta, and Joe Rogan stumped him as well. Now let's go ahead and throw it into this clip of Dave Smith stumping Chris Cuomo on the topic of Joe Rogan stumping CNN.
Joe Rogan is bigger than every single show at CNN combined and gets paid more than every single person at CNN combined. And he was 100% right about this thing through the entire time.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he
No, he wasn't.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me get this point out here.
Tell me what he was right about.
Okay, how about, you know what you just revealed last month on Pat's show about ivermectin?
Yeah.
Joe Rogan was saying that, and you were smearing him for saying that.
Yeah.
You literally said he's taking horse dewormer.
Yes.
He should be ashamed of himself. You pleaded with your audience to not take it.
Yes.
Then you come back around and you go, hey, Pat, you know what I just found out? Turns out this thing isn't for animals. Turns out humans are. But Chris,
that's
a 5-minute Google search and you would have known that.
First of all,
how do you not apologize to Joe Rogan?
Listen, do you know who disagrees with you? Do you know who disagrees with you? The people who make ivermectin disagree with you.
Hold on. What do they disagree with me about?
That the drug should not be taken as a standalone for COVID-19.
I never said it should.
That's what Rogan was saying.
No. He did not. No, listen. See, this is the thing, Chris.
Yeah,
that is a lie. That is a blatant lie. Joe Rogan. So you just pretended that I said it's a standalone for COVID. No. Here's what it always was. Here's what Joe Rogan said. My doctor prescribed it to me, along with several other medications, just like your doctor prescribed it to you. That's what he said. What I'm saying is that it's not horse dewormer, as you and everybody else at CNN mindlessly repeated.
Now,
what he said, no, let me finish. What he said, and what I'm saying is that it is a medicine that's been prescribed to people millions and I think billions of times. And it was totally demonized. Why? You already said why. You said it 2 years too late, but you already said why.
No, here's why.
Because no one owned it.
Here's why. What Pat has on his desk right now, you do not want to take, okay? It is the veterinary grade ivermectin. People were so desperate to get it because they were told it was a panacea. It was a cure-all.
Who told them that?
It was online.
Well, you just
flooding
claimed Joe Rogan said it. You claimed I said it. Neither of us have said that.
So hold on. So why was there a rush on ivermectin all of a sudden?
Can I tell you my honest opinion about that? Okay, it's that the medical establishment and the corporate media so humiliated themselves that they lost trust with the entire American people. And then, there were some charlatans online who were saying, "Oh, go take this," and they trusted them.
Please, here's what happened. Okay?
If you think Joe Rogan said, "Take any form of ivermectin you can get, and you'll never get COVID,"
I'm not blaming Rogan. Here's what happened.
You should be apologizing to him.
And again, listen. Here's what happened. Here's what happened. Also, let me tell you why I think apologies in this context are a stunt, okay? We don't accept apologies. Nobody accepts apologies except as an admission that you weaponize. That's why Trump never apologizes. He's right. Because if you apologize, everybody just beats you over the head with it.
Trump's got a lot to apologize for, and so do you.
I'm just saying, as a concept, and you should too on this, and I'll tell you why.
What should I apologize for?
Here's what happened. Ivermectin, it wasn't because the media said don't take it, so everyone took it. The media would have never been talking about it unless people were taking it. Use your head. So here's what happens. They're prescribing it like crazy. They actually stop physicians from being able to prescribe it, which I think was a mistake. They then start giving out veterinary grade ivermectin, which, as the word would suggest, you shouldn't take, right?
Because doctors were prescribing veterinary?
No, people were desperately trying to get it online. They couldn't find it. Okay. Ivermectin is the most studied potential treatment for COVID of all of them. which was a complete waste of money. And it was all done just to play on the politics of this. Merck, that made ivermectin, put out a statement during this saying, we do not advise it to be used for COVID-19. You can't find research that is seen as impressive by the research community that proves that ivermectin is effective in treating COVID-19. Rob can find you 100 studies, right? Listen, you're wrong on this.
No, I'm not.
And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why, because they're mad at me too, by the way. You think you guys are alone?
So,
no.
Why are you taking it
Here's
then?
why. My doctor, I didn't take it during COVID-19. Right. And I didn't take hydroxychloroquine when I was sick with COVID-19, even though a lot of people thought they were being nice by sending it to me. Why? Because the research isn't there. That's why. With long COVID, okay? Not long vax, that's a different thing. If it's going to get recognized as such. I don't know. They won't say that yet. Long COVID, they're now saying exists. There is research. Is it dispositive? No. Do the people on the government levels and the research communities like that I said that I'm taking it? No. Do they think I'm setting myself up for lawsuits? Yes. But my doctor, I believe, is in the vanguard of people who are figuring out long COVID. Okay. And she has a lot of the same problems, by the way, with me and with the pandemic that you do. And she has found research, and she has had her own experience in using it in a combination with many other things where she believes it may be able to help. Now, I've been taking it. I don't feel any better. Does that mean it doesn't work? No. But
it's
that's
safe.
why I'm taking it.
It's safe and it's not horse paste.
It is definitely safe, but it's not horse paste because it's not horse paste.
But
that is horse paste.
By the way, no one ever at CNN during this time, when they were all saying it's horse dewormer, everyone was repeating, no one ever said, we're talking about the veterinarian ivermectin. That's because we're not talking about the ivermectin that doctors prescribe. Right. No one ever said that. But listen, you told me I should apologize. So what do you think I should apologize for? And then I'll tell you what I think you should apologize for.
I know what you think I should apologize for. Obviously, there was so much talk that they don't want you to take ivermectin. Ivermectin is the way to go. Take it. Joe Rogan got better from ivermectin. And by the way, I don't like what people did to Joe Rogan about ivermectin. I don't like it.
You did it.
No. Okay,
yes, you did.
Find the clips.
Dude, find the clips. You shamed Joe Rogan.
Find the clips.
You said he's taking horse dewormer. You and Don Lemon were chuckling at each other about it.
No,
I'll go find
the clip. First of all, you just saw the clips. I'm not chuckling. I'm listening to Don. But
no. The clip I'm talking about wasn't on there, and it's absolutely there. Here, do we have it? Hold on. Let's play the clip.
Injecting drugs for animals and horse.
And people telling them to. Oh, my God. What person? You talk about, cancel culture and who to shame. Ivermectin, a dewormer, really?
They are shaming themselves.
That's what it is.
They're shaming themselves.
So you're taking a dewormer right now.
Chris,
you can't apologize for that. You weren't being clear that it was this, and you know that, dude. You're being so dishonest right now, man.
I'm not being
dishonest. Talking about ivermectin, the drug. You were not talking about this version of ivermectin. Come on, man.
I was responding to a situation where we were told that this is what people were searching out to take, and nobody knew what it was going to do to them. Look. I'm taking the drug right now. Obviously, I don't think it's all poison. I stopped calling it the horse drug when, and you can not like it, CNN's chief medical officer, who is Sanjay Gupta, said to me, you shouldn't just call it a horse dewormer. There's a whole legitimate aspect of the drug. I wouldn't use it for COVID-19, but it's not just a veterinary grade. So I stopped calling it that.
So, okay.
And then it went away.
By the way, I don't know if you guys saw this. One of the best moments during the pandemic was when Dr. Gupta, who was just mentioned, went on Joe Rogan's podcast. For all the days of CNN, demonizing Joe Rogan, they send their top doctor out there onto his show, and he goes, why is everyone on your network saying I'm taking horse dewormer? Ivermectin's not. And Dr. Gupta looked down at his lap and went, yeah, no, they shouldn't be saying that.
Well, Sanjay was the one who corrected us.
Sanjay
was the one who corrected us.
No, actually, after that, he went back and laughed as Don Lemon called it horse dewormer again, and then I guess later corrected you guys. But then there was a moment, and this was the best moment, and you got to remember the context of this. This was during the vaccine passports. Okay? The point when the people like me, and I'm sure a lot of you, were basically turned into second-class citizens, weren't allowed to go into restaurants, weren't allowed to go to sporting events, weren't allowed to go into a lot of different office buildings, things like that, and you, personally, along with everyone at CNN, cheered that on. You mused and joked around when you were interviewing Dr. Fauci about what rights the unvaccinated should have. So Dr. Gupta goes to Joe Rogan and says, it is in the middle of all this. He goes, so are you going to get the vaccine? And Joe goes, no, I just had COVID. Why would I get it? I got natural immunity. It's stronger than the vaccine. And Dr. Gupta went, yeah, that's a good point. He had nothing for him. He had no response. It's like when you were, listen.
That's not even close to accurate. Okay?
Yeah, well, remember last time we played the clip and I was right? Remember last time?
You weren't right about that either. You weren't right about that
Chris,
either.
dude, you're in denial here, man. It's so clear that you said that. Just admit it, man, and we can move on.
Endless gaslighting, consistently avoiding his culpability in any of the lies that he has told, and denying the fact that he has told any lies whatsoever. This is a perfect avatar for what the corporate press represents, and every single one of the apparatchiks within that of the establishment that is the regime media, well, you need to realize most of them are in fact exactly like that of Chris Cuomo here. They will die with the lie, no matter how erroneous it is. These people are nothing more than liars for power, and once you realize this, you cannot go back. There is no unturning that page. Thank you to Dave Smith for absolutely dismantling this regime hack, this lying piece of filth, and I have so much more that I could say and just endlessly talk the most shit about Chris Cuomo, but I'm not going to do that because it would just be too easy. But I will finish off by giving him one simple compliment because I do think this is an important thing to pay attention to. While I think Chris Cuomo is literal filth and will rot and burn in hell for the actions that he has perpetrated upon the world because of the endless lies that he has sold, and done so with a smile on his face, I still think the fact is that he is very clearly a husband who loves his wife and is very dedicated to her, and a father who very clearly loves his children and is very present in their lives is something that should be respected and appreciated. And someone who does things such as this, well, you would hope that they could possibly pull themselves back from the brink. But in the end, in my mind, many of these people, if not all of them, are completely unsalvageable. And I would argue that the debate between Dave Smith and Chris Cuomo truly highlights that. I'm going to go ahead and call it there. Thank you for watching if you got this far. Thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. Tell me where I'm wrong in the comment section down below. Stay lovely, stay great, and most importantly, as always, tell someone you love them. Peace out.